Have you ever seen the Beijing Opera in a real theater?
No.
No? Okay. In China, there are many operas because this is a big country and people speak many different dialects. So when the opera is sung in different dialects, then it comes into a kind of opera. So, of course, Beijing opera is sung in Beijing dialect. Compared with other operas, Beijing opera became a form of art, the latest. It is because of the personal interest of an emperor in the Qing dynasty, Emperor Qianlong. He loves opera so much, and he made a lot of innovations on the Beijing opera. So the Beijing opera was no longer just singing. It has combined a lot of different types of performing arts, including singing and dancing and pantomime and acrobatics and martial arts fighting. So to watch the Beijing opera is really worth the ticket because there are so many kind of performances. And Beijing opera is the most popular opera in China. There are many reasons. First, for example, it is very famous for its facial makeup. These performers, they would use half an hour to 1 hour time before they go to the stage to make up their face. They would put very heavy colors on the face. And each different color can mean something. It can mean the personality of this role that they're playing. For example, red face means loyalty. And black is brave, and blue is cunning, and white is treacherous, and green is mischievous. Not precisely, I'm not expert. Okay, and then the costume. The costume is really elegant and colorful, especially the costume for those female roles, the young ladies. And the acting is highly symbolic. If you look at their movement of their fingers and bodies and the eyes and their facial expressions, they're highly symbolic. Each of these tiny movement can mean something. So that's why if you watch the Chinese movies and TV shows, a lot of famous actors and actresses, they all have the background of being trained in a Beijing Opera School when they were a young kid. Because this kind of performance can really help to improve the acting skill. But the singing, the singing is very different. Since when they sing it, they sing a very high pitch and they stretch the voice very long. So for many foreigners, if they first see the Beijing opera, this kind of singing might not be very comfortable for them. Many foreigners told me that this kind of singing is like the cry of a scalded cat. And the stories of the Beijing opera are all from the ancient classics. So if you don't look at the subtitles, it's very hard to understand what they're singing. So to appreciate Beijing opera, there is a very high threshold. That's why it is no longer very popular among the younger generation. But it is still agreed by everybody in China that this is the most valuable traditional performing art in this country.